Our day-to-day life involves a lot of interactions with lots of objects, people and situations. This series of interactions marks our day-to-day life. In 24 hours, we come in contact with so many different people, animals, creatures, even non-alive objects. Interactions with all these live or non-alive components of the society requires us to be in a conscious state. Because if we are not conscious, we cannot interact. If we were in coma, the whole world would be meaningless to us. So awareness, the consciousness, is the most important thing that connects to people, to animals, or live and non-alive matter. Either way, consciousness plays a major role in making the day-to-day life possible. Whether it is a tiny earthworm looking for food and a small ant going in certain direction, knowing exactly where it's going and what it's going for. The consciousness present in even a tiny mosquito, it knows exactly who to bite and who not to bite. All these are tiny examples in the external world. But what happens to this consciousness once we go within? As you meditate and go deep, the same consciousness seems to filter into our psyche. Our mind is conscious of the body, and we are conscious of our thoughts. So the same consciousness seems to be filtering us from within. All our thoughts are bathing in the universal pool of consciousness. Even within the body, everything is organized. All the cells which are formed from the birth to create very complex systems of the body, like neurology, cardiology, gastroenterology, pulmonary. Every single cell gets differentiated to take its own role in the total functioning of the body. In the beginning, we have only stem cells, which are holding the key to the formation of our body. After the egg is developed, these stem cells have ability to differentiate into whatever roles they are given. Some higher consciousness operates this beautiful creation of our body. And each cell, when it is placed next to another cell which already has modified this stem cell, or they call omnipotent cells, means they have infinite potential to differentiate. If one of these cells lies next to the heart cell, which already has been formed, it will immediately start cooperating and take up the role of whatever it needs to be functioning, and the heart is formed. Same thing with the nervous tissue, the brain, the lungs, stomach, intestines, sexual organs. Every single cell used to be omnipotent cell with multiple potentials. Imagine the coordination that is required at the body level, and all that is happening within our body from the time of birth to the death. All these beautiful coordinated activities happening in our body requires awareness also. There is awareness among the cells, between various systems of the body, so that the whole body performs in a perfectly harmonized fashion, just like the Swiss trains operating exactly in a synchronized way. This universal consciousness is within us also, among the cells. Even within the cells, things are operating in a beautifully orchestrated way. So the consciousness seems to be reaching all the way into the stars and galaxies, but also within us. And anything beautiful, organized things are happening in the universe, whether it is a beautiful flower or a cute squirrel running around, or the changing colors, are the result of consciousness in varying degrees operating. Even within the tree, all the cells coordinate with each other to perform a specific function, whether it is to absorb the carbon dioxide, release the oxygen, make the fruits, make the seeds for the next generation. Everything is orchestrated by the consciousness in a beautifully coordinated, harmonious way. So the rule of the universe is to be harmonious. Harmony with every single component of the universe is the message given to us in various manifestations from the Almighty Universal Consciousness, which is within every single that is operating in the universe. Even in the stones, the consciousness is hidden, but because of the instrument not being developed enough, it cannot manifest it. It cannot be manifested the way it manifests within us. But it still exists within it, nevertheless. So the universality of the awareness, the consciousness, gives us the indication how the God operates. if we want to call it God, under the empire of this universal consciousness, things are formed, maintained and destroyed in a very rhythmic fashion. And this presence of this universal consciousness, it gives every single organism life from within. It gives it a subjectivity. And an ability to pick into the universal consciousness that's within us. Our body is the temple. If you go within, put your shoes away, the shoes of ego, because the ego seems meaningless when this whole universe is operating on such a grand scale, and you could be walking around with your own flag, which is of no value. We are only combination of billions and trillions of cells, all operating within their own realm with cooperativeness, harmony, and total functionality. Every single system operating in a very uniform way. When the time comes, the thirst happens, fluid is taken, hunger happens, food is taken, need to breathe the air happens, air is brought in. All these systems operate in a very beautiful way in their own time and frame in the space. So the ultimate actor behind all this thing is the universal consciousness, not you and me as an individual. We are small puppets in the vast universal consciousness. So ultimate actor, doer, performer, observer, coordinator, harmonizer is the universal consciousness. Bow down to this consciousness. Remain conscious all the time. Instead of getting carried away into the objects of pleasures, worship the consciousness all the time. Stay aware all the time. Awareness is your final destination. Be aware all the time. Then your attachment to the people, objects and situation will start diminishing. And 24/7 awareness will make you calm, peaceful, joyful, and free from sufferings. The sufferings which were generated because of our faith and trust in the material world, which keeps on disintegrating every second. So stay awake, stay alert, stay aware, stay Buddha. Have a good day.